I'm very blind, so I can't see at all.
That's okay.
So
I expect that. Get you to stand up, and whenever you're ready, you can hold onto that tube and start bending. I have some physios and OTs, they're like peak physical fitness. They just start doing crunches in front of me, and I'm like, please stop.
I was just about to do that. Nice, it's above 100. He dresses himself in an ancient black frock coat, usually minus several buttons.
You see in the head side to side, it was a bit lower.
Yeah.
There was just a sudden spike of particles, just halfway through.
Weird.
Still an overall pass though. Is it good?
Yes. Just to confirm that I passed. No lies here.
Maybe there might be a little bit of leakage around the chin during the side to side movement.
I'll just keep saying yes.
Yeah, just keep saying yes, never say no
Never
to
say
anyone.
no, yeah. Should I find where it is?
Normally I get you to take your glasses off.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to lose your glasses into the clinical waste.
Yep. Open it?
Yep, open it. Pop it in. I had my jab on Wednesday.
You seem a bit traumatized.
I had both my flu vax and my COVID booster on Wednesday, so.
Today was exciting. It was surgery day and I didn't know dermatology had this much surgery, so I'm very happy about that. Good mix of things. I saw a lot of excision biopsies and some biopsies where they would graft a skin flap from the arm or the leg and then graft it onto the face, which was mad. It was nice to see, and the fact that I could get involved, scrub in and assist in that was top notch. After getting some amazing lunch from the food court, the afternoon was full of clinics. There was someone who's actually on long-term prednisolone. Prednisolone is a steroid, and it's great for short-term sort of anti-inflammatory effects, but long-term it's basically very, very dangerous and it has so many side effects, and we had to learn it all for the prescribing exam. And essentially this lady had decided not to come to hospital for follow-up and just continued taking the prednisolone. She started suffering from all those side effects. It led to her legs being so full of fluid that it was literally leaking water. Like, I was just looking at the patient's leg and it was dripping with water. That's how bad it had gotten. That's too much. Oh, I can smell that. Alright, I'm gonna try it now. Alright, we got a little bit over here. Oh, that is spicy, man. Tomorrow's not gonna be a good day. How am I supposed to eat that? Yeah, it's quite spicy. And that's what happens when I film and then I pour chili at the same time. It's just not a good combination. First, I ended up putting twice the amount of chicken that I wanted. Then, I put in so much spice that I'm gonna just have diarrhea.
baby?
I think so.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Half the animals are just tired.
It's hard being an animal.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got no
Really?
job. There's no grind. My guys. They're just in the background. These two boys. Am I a creep? There's some pit smelling going on. That's more than smelling actually. You gotta return the favour. I like how they're holding hands as well up top.
You could see one of the largest flying birds that occur in the world today, and that is the beautiful Andean condor. Pretty impressive, everyone. This is Kinera. Disappear.
This one loves climbing. I just got man of the act. What's he trying to nick? Boss man. Boss man, you've been caught red-handed. Yo.
Hello.
Hello?
Oh.
Don't want it to bite you though.
Yeah, I don't want it to bite me.
I don't even know what it is.
I think it was one of the wallabies. Bro.
Honestly, you wouldn't believe what I saw today. There was a patient that had 30 basal cell carcinomas, 30 on their skin at the same time. That was, yeah, I've never heard of seeing of that. Basically, it was everywhere. And because there's so many, you know, you can't just excise all of them. It's too much for the patient. Like, how many surgeries are going to go to? That would take like a day to do like everything. They queried whether he had something called Gorlin syndrome, which it gives you a tendency to develop all these skin cancers. And for them to actually get treatment for it covered by Medicare, which is basically like the NHS of Australia, you have to either have Gorlin syndrome or have these strict checkboxes that you have to meet this criteria. Only then will they be funded by Medicare, the government. Otherwise, you'd have to pay for it out of your own pocket, which is not very nice if that's the case. We also had a ward round this morning, which I didn't really know dermatologists do, but you do. I guess this is how little I know about dermatology. So they go on the ward, they basically have a few patients that are on other wards like hematology especially, or infectious diseases, and they just get dermatology to have a look, make sure everything's okay. So that was what we saw in the morning. The afternoon we had something called reflectance confocal microscopy, and this is essentially a microscope type thing. Good technical description there. You essentially put a tool on the patient's arm or wherever the issue is, and you're able to visualize cells like, you know, for melanoma cells, BCC cells, squamous cell carcinoma cells, stuff like that. And it's a good way of visualizing these cells without actually having to do a biopsy. So it can be done before to guide the biopsy, and the machine itself is a very expensive machine. Like the doctor was telling me, it costs like as much as a house, which is mad. Alright, so how much did it cost? I've got my laptop open here with me. So the accommodation on its own for about 6 weeks was about 2.2k, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. I'm using rough estimates. And then flights were about 1.2k. Now for flights I paid a bit more, but that's because I went to Bali on the way back, and I booked relatively late, so this cost you can probably cut down. Total flights, I think including Bali, was like 1.6, so it's quite expensive. But yeah, I think if you book early, you can get flights to Sydney for, you know, under a grand, I think. But then I had to actually pay for the placement itself, so yeah. It's a lot of money. I paid £900 for 5 weeks. And then you had the admin stuff, so OH and vaccinations and all that kind of stuff. That was about 75 to 100 quid. Also the DBS check you got to get done. Living expenses. Now this one varies depending on the person, how much you want to explore. I'd say the cost of living is very similar to London. Maybe it's a bit more expensive. Food's a little bit more expensive, I think. But you can easily get by with my amount. So I spent about £500 worth over there. And if I wanted to explore more, then I could. And obviously this didn't include a lot of public transport, but if you're getting that, you have to add that on. But actually, no, you don't have to add that on because you can claim that back on the NHS. In terms of how much you can claim back from the NHS, for me, it was £55 per night for accommodation. Now it's been changed to £85 per night, which is a decent amount, I'm not gonna lie. Like with £85, you can get a decent crib, or at least most of your accommodation covered, which is good. So yeah, that was claimed. You can also claim back transport to and from your location. So not flights, but if you're living in an apartment, they will cover you from going there to the hospital. The same way they do it in your final 2 years of med school in the UK. It's the same as that. And so the total I spent was just shy of about £5,000 for the whole thing. But because of the NHS claiming it back for the accommodation, transport and admin costs, I claimed back about 2.2k. And so my total out of pocket was 2.6k. So I would use that as a kind of reference for how much it's going to cost if you were to go to Sydney and do a dermatology elective for 5 weeks.